I actually wasn't going to put up a video today. I didn't have anything ready. I went on a trip last weekend, a solo trip, which I vlogged, but I haven't touched the footage since I got home on Tuesday. And so I was like, well, I guess I just won't have a video today. And then yesterday I was thinking about this topic and I was like, I did want to make a video about that at some point. And so here I am at the 11th hour. I'm going to video this and upload this. So there's a video today after all. The topic is reading as an adult. Like many people, I was an avid reader as a child. I learned to read pretty early. I remember being like 6 years old and getting like the second Boxcar Children book and just devouring it. So I know I was a proficient reader by that age. So from pretty early on, books were a really big part of my childhood. And since becoming an adult, graduating high school, getting a job, I've really fallen off the reading train. It's fallen pretty low on the list of my priorities. It's comes second to my phone or my computer a lot of the time. I've realized it's not just my phone that's to blame. There's like other lifestyle changes that are also affecting how I use my time. For example, I'm really into working out now. I spend many hours a week at the gym doing weightlifting and cardio, taking walks. And I was extremely sedentary as a child. Like I was the most inactive child imaginable. And I remember, in fact, putting my book on the handlebars of my bike and riding in circles up and down our street. Somehow managed to not get hurt doing that. Since becoming an adult, it's been like kind of a disappointment. I would have thought I'd spend a lot more time reading. And the last year or so, I've really put more effort into finding books to read and trying to finish them. It hasn't always worked. And I've identified a few ways in which I think I've been self-sabotaging and the solutions. In a nutshell, I would describe this philosophy as read like a kid. And I have identified 3 ways in which I approached reading as a child that I think made reading accessible and easy and fun. And the first one is be really casual about reading. So for me, trying to get back into reading, I have had the tendency to ritualize it, to put it up on a pedestal and try to make it into this experience, getting a book and a drink and setting some like low music and turning on the certain lamp and sitting on a certain spot and trying to like cultivate a reading ritual. And I think it's backfired on me because if I remember reading as a child, I would just read anytime, all the time. Anytime I could pick up a book, I would read it. I remember doing house cleaning and my job was to clean my room. And I would turn off the vacuum and pick up a book and read for an hour. Like, I treated it like my phone. I treated it with the same casualness of my phone. In fact, if you flipped this the other way around and you started ritualizing phone use, you'd probably use your phone a lot less. If you like had to like sit down in a certain spot with your drink, with your headphones to spend an hour reading your phone, you would probably use your phone less if you weren't just like picking it up randomly throughout the day. So in order to increase your book usage, treat it like your phone. Pick it up randomly whenever you go by and see it, just pick it up and read a page or two, a chapter, and you'll find yourself reading a lot more. I guarantee it. Secondly is read short books. Read easy books, essentially. As kids, the books we read were not very long. They were sometimes deep. I've gone back and reread children's books, and sometimes they are pretty thought-provoking, but they're usually pretty short. Standard length of a children's book, I believe, is somewhere between like 20 and 50,000 words. And in publishing, like a full-length adult novel, like standard length, is like 80 to 100,000 words. So that means that the average adult novel is twice as long as a middle grade fiction book. And I think as adults, we're like, well, we're smarter. We're like more capable of understanding deep concepts. And for some reason, we think of ourselves as being able to absorb more information when it's really not the case. Like everybody knows it's harder to like memorize things and absorb information as an adult versus as a child. So I don't know why we expect ourselves to be able to process and understand and read books that are twice as long just as easily as we did when we were kids, when we are now mentally juggling a much bigger load from day to day. So try reading shorter books and easier books. Like, read the fun books. Like, one of the biggest things that's tripped me up as I've gotten back into reading is trying to read really serious literature. Like, not even fiction. Like, historical books like Shakespeare, classics like, what was it? The last one? I don't know if this is the last one I tried to read, but I got Middlemarch from the library during the pandemic. And because of the pandemic, I was able to keep it out for like 6 months. And I barely got halfway through that book. It was so long and so dense. And so, like, just find shorter books to read and easier books to read. Treat reading like you did as a kid. It's something you do in order to have fun. And then my third point, this is just going to be a shorter video. My third point is reread books. And this is maybe the biggest aha moment I've had in this re-entry into reading journey that I've had, because I was thinking about books I read as a child, and I had a lot of books here at home, like just available to me to read, and I would read them over and over and over again. Probably my most read book as a child was the Little House on the Prairie series by Laura Ingalls Wilder. They were a huge cornerstone of my childhood. They really, I think, shaped my taste in literature and also like my interest in like that certain period of history. And I read them countless times. Totally lost track of how many times I read them. And recently I picked up a book that I read a few years ago to reread it, and it was like almost as good as reading it for the first time, because I was like rediscovering it. And I also was like, oh, I like can relate to these characters so much better now that I'm a little bit older and I have more life experiences, and I'm understanding the plot almost a little bit better because I already know a little bit about the setting and all of the characters. So I think we've kind of lost the art of rereading. Yeah, so if you're struggling with reading a book, go find a simple short read and reread it, something you've already read, and just leave it around your house. Don't like make a point to sit down with it. Just like pick it up whenever you see it and open to where you left off and see if that makes it a little bit easier to get back into reading. Leave a comment and tell me what you think of these ideas, and if you've tried any of these things, if you've discovered any of them yourself. And if you try it, let me know. Let me know how it worked for you. I'll see you next time.